Study, reflect, and listen to the Lord. Let Him direct your steps. That's how you treasure each day. Hello, this is Kimber Nation. Welcome to Nation Station. As we are winding down 2021, it's natural to start thinking about what is ahead in 2022. So let's go talk about that. New year means new goals. Starting a new year is a great time to pause and reflect on how things have been going. Take time to make a list or write paragraphs, whichever style best suits your personality. Identify areas that you're good at, and maybe just pick 2 or 3 skills that you would like to improve upon. Me, for example, I like to talk, but I need to work on listening first and not giving my opinion until I'm asked for it. I know I need to be more organized. You can't see the backside of my office for a reason. So I work with people who are strong in that area and learn from them. Now, this year, I want to set aside a specific time to read, whether it's the Bible, financial magazines, news, or even a novel. It probably needs to be at night to help me to relax before going to bed. Many people jump in with great goals and lots of excitement, but within 3 or 4 weeks, unfortunately resort back to old habits and then feel terrible about themselves because they gave it a good try, but with the best of intentions were unsuccessful. That's because they didn't properly prepare and execute their plan of action. I know because I've been there. I've done that many, many times, especially with the old scale here and trying to lose weight. When I stick to a plan, guess what? And I don't eat sugar and I cut down on soda, I lose weight. Well, it also helps when I exercise. So I know what I need to do to make it work. So how come I haven't lost weight? It's been 1.5 years and I still have not lost my COVID weight. I blame it on the COVID-20 instead of COVID-19. All right. New Year's resolutions or goals can be in any area of your life, including, but not limited to, family, health, career, financial, educational, personal development, or social life. There are similar criteria, though, in any of these goals that need to be met in order to produce lasting changes. Just remember A, B, C. So the first one is A, attitude. The more clearly you can focus on one objective at a time, the better your chances are at achieving it, which in turn improves your motivation to stick with the steps that it takes. How motivated are you? See, that's been my problem with the weight loss. I enjoy eating, and I haven't stuck with it because I haven't been mentally and physically prepared to follow through with what it takes to do it. So obviously, the higher motivation is going to get you more successful results. Remember, each day is a new opportunity to start again. Okay, one of my health coaches, she told me, let go of any mistakes that were made yesterday and just wake up with a fresh new outlook. And stay away from the naysayers. They can bring you down and make you start doubting. So keep positive. 2 of my favorite motivational speakers are Zig Ziglar and Eric Thomas. You can look them up on YouTube. That's what I listen to their videos. You can read their books. They're in your face. All right, and Zig Ziglar's been around a long, long time. In fact, a lot of the posters and sayings that we read come from him. But Eric Thomas, he's got a rough story to tell and that he has overcome. So he's very inspirational to me as well. Then the next step is B, for buddy. You need someone to work with you, or at least check in with you regularly, whether this is daily, weekly, I would say at least weekly, minimally. We all do better, of course, when we know we will be held accountable for our progress. No one wants to fail or disappoint a friend. At times, we need that mentor or coach to remind us not to beat ourselves up if we are having a setback. Small groups also are great, especially when you are all headed in the same direction and you have that same goal together. That's why The Biggest Loser and things like that was so popular and so successful, because they were all working on the same thing. It provides great built-in support on various levels of experience. Some are brand new at it, some have been around for a long, long time. And we can learn from each other. So at times you may be the one pushing someone else, and then the next week they may be the one building you up. It may also become at a point in time where that coach or mentor makes, set you aside and say that you need to regroup, maybe revise your goals a little bit to make sure that it's realistic and doable. Then step 3 would be C. That is for chart. You are more likely to succeed when you record your goal. Just putting it in writing, whether you text, email, tweet, whatever, it increases your chances by 50%. I don't know where that came from, so I don't know the source to quote, but just believe me. Write your goal down. Post it in front of you, okay, so that you can see it regularly. Be realistic, specific, and measurable with each goal you set. Remember, they can be in several different categories of your life. What do you expect to accomplish? What steps are required to get to the next level? And when will you devote time, and how long will it take? I had to stop and realize, with the COVID-20 that I teasingly talk about, since I gained 20 pounds through all this COVID thing when I was stuck at home, couldn't get out. Well, I cooked more, so I ate more, and all those excuses. But I have to realize, I can't lose that all in 1 month, probably. Not the way I eat. So realistic for me, I need to give myself, since it took a month or a year and a half to put it on, I probably need to give myself several months to try to get that back off. Okay. So I found some charts that are very useful online, and they are free and available to anyone. So just look and see. The first one that I'm sharing with you says 11 ways to improve your goal setting. Okay, and it's right up here. It tells exactly where to find it, but it goes through and has a lot of helpful tips on there. And then the next one that I'm sharing is about SMART goals. And that is something we learned as an educator, to make sure that our objectives are measurable and that we know the progress that each student is making. And so that can be applied also to us as adults. Specific, meaningful, actionable, and realistic, and timely. So the resource is also listed on there. The next one is just kind of an example of what you could do from day to day. It reminds you to, today will be awesome. And you circle the day of the week it is. You could have a quote of the day, the mood you're in. So it's really encompassing all areas of our life. Did I exercise? What are my top 3 priorities? What did I eat today? Things to get done today. Again, it's all about charting, having it written down, monitoring it, and checking your progress. So, and maybe you just want to highlight 2 of those areas instead of all of them. But this is just kind of a nice overall chart to use. And again, these are for personal use only. I'm not publishing them. They're free online. So the resource is right there at the bottom of that. Another one for SMART goals is just a way to, what's the obstacle that's maybe preventing you from reaching your goal, and then your action and solution plan. So that's another great resource. And last but not least, I like that there's all 7 areas of life. You really do need to kind of break it down, I believe, for the short term, and then build, and also have a vision for maybe next year, and maybe 5 or 10 years down the road, to know which direction you're headed. And that again includes all areas of life, as you can see here. And that comes from wisegoals.com. So what do you do when you come across an obstacle, right? Because we're all going to be faced with a birthday party, and there's cupcakes and cookies, and you don't want to be rude and not eat it, right? But it's not going to fit along with your weight loss plan. Or you've got a family vacation. How do you meet your work goals if you can't take time to answer your phone and do things like that? Well, first of all, you need to recognize that if there's something within your control, or if it's something that you have no control over. My first piece of advice would be to persevere. Don't give up. Anything that's worth doing is going to be difficult, and you will have temptations to stray, to fall away, to just forget it, that it's too hard, come up with all kinds of excuses. That's the easy part. The hard part is staying with it. So climb over, find an alternative route, do whatever it takes to push through the pain or the conflict. I love what Helen Keller said. Character cannot be developed in ease and quiet. Only through experiences of trial and suffering can the soul be strengthened, vision cleared, ambition inspired, and success achieved. If you keep hitting a wall, then you may need to reconsider your reason why you set this goal. Is the timing wrong? Take a step back and try to see the impact of reaching your goal from an outside point of view. Determine its worth realistically. Don't forget to celebrate the small steps of progress. This is something else my coach encouraged me to do. To ensure a lasting impact, you must be consistent, but also be flexible enough to adjust to real life situations. Again, if you're going to have that cookie, don't deprive yourself altogether, but just, do everything in moderation. Allow yourself the same forgiveness and grace that you would a friend. So go ahead and make that New Year's resolution. Follow the ABCs. And once you reach that goal, make a new one. Little by little, we will become more and more like Jesus until that blessed day when the Lord takes us home and transforms us to completion. So I hope you've enjoyed these helpful tips. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in 2022.